Tonight's Showdown Game of the Week on My New 32 is brought to you by Gallagher's Pizza, Italian food, Irish spirit. Packerland Home Improvement, it's your home. Simon's Specialty Cheese, home of world champion cheeses. Cobison Buses, family pride in every ride. And Gandrud West Mason Value Center, where selection, dependability, and value collide. From Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's time for live coverage of high school football. It's week 4 of the regular season, and tonight we showcase the Fox River Classic Conference as undefeated Pulaski has made their way to Green Bay Preble. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Showdown. I'm Ted Stefaniak alongside John Mino.
Hello, Teddy.
We talk about the weather every week. Gorgeous every week.
Yes.
Tonight, just a little bit of chill in the
A
air.
little chill in here, a little blustery. I had to really, spray down the Aquanet tonight to keep this baby still. But I'll tell you what, this is going to be a good matchup. I know one of the records doesn't look all that impressive, but when you see the teams they played and the way they played them, it is. I like this matchup. Pulaski coming in at 3-0. Shutouts in their last 2 ball games. These are 2 good football teams. They really and truly are.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to another great game. These 2 teams have a lot to live up to after the first 3 weeks of Showdown this year.
Yeah, there's no question about that. One of the things, too, that you always look for certain teams that are benchmark teams. Well, it looks like Bayport is pretty much head and shoulders over a lot of teams. But I'm telling you, this Preble team played them really tough for quite a while in that ball game. It's going to be one of those games where you have 2 teams that both made the playoffs last year. Both had to recharge their rosters quite a bit. Where you talk about some of the great players, especially for Pulaski, maybe the best player in the state in some ways, who is now playing at North Dakota State. They had, of course, replace him. But it's one of those things where it's at the point of the season now where the season isn't early anymore. Those first couple of games, right. It's like, well, you still got to teach the guys how to, really do some certain things. This is where you really start cutting the wheat from the chaff.
The wheat from the chaff?
Yes. I think it's chaff. I'm pretty sure it's chaff. But anyway, it's that point in the season where you really start to know what you have as a football team.
Chaff? I'm not sure.
Okay.
But you know what I do know? I know there's a little bit of a logjam at the top of the FRCC standings. We take a look at what's going on. You mentioned Bayport up there and Pulaski. A little bit of a surprise with our friends over at Ashwaubenon sitting at 3-0 as well.
Boy, I guess. New coaching staff over there and everything, but getting off to a real nice start. Bayport, as I mentioned, pretty well loaded. A little bit of surprise with Green Bay Notre Dame. When's the last time we saw Notre Dame 1-2 after the first 3 games of the season?
Yeah, it's been a while, and still, as you said, 5 more weeks remaining in the season after tonight. So it is a crazy logjam all the way through the FRCC. Well, let's talk a little bit about this Pulaski team again. You mentioned Dylan Hendricks, who is now playing at North Dakota State. He's not here, but I think maybe a little more balance of a program now here for Pulaski.
You'd have to be. I mean, he was basically their offense. No disrespect to anybody else on that offense. We had over 3,000 yards of total offense last year. I mean, it was just amazing. Big, strong kid, and he ran this offense to perfection. Type of offense you don't see very often in high school football, but Pulaski, it is their heritage going with that single wing. They love it. When you start playing football in Pulaski, this is the offense you learn. It's not like one 7th grade team is running one offense, somebody else running something else. This is what they do in Pulaski. They've always had those tough kids. Always wrestlers from Pulaski. Just those kind of, just tough, hard-nosed kids. That's what they've got again this year.
Yeah, and they were 10-2 last year.
Absolutely.
They've been a team that has been on the rise here in the FRCC. Meanwhile, Preble, of course, they've been playing well as well.
Right.
That 1-2 record is a little bit deceiving, I think, but this is a team that can beat you on the ground and through the air.
Their last 3 opponents, 9-0. I mean, that says it all, right? Their last 3 opponents, 9-0 coming into tonight's ball game. So they've had the really tough part of their schedule early.
All right. Well, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll hear from both coaches as the pregame show continues. You're watching Showdown on My New 32. The Sports Showdown broadcast schedule continues next week when we stay in the FRCC to check out one of the most talked about teams in the state, Bayport. They take on De Pere next Friday. Pregame starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7 right here on Sports Showdown. We got a good one for you tonight also in the FRCC as Pulaski and Preble are warming up for their big game tonight. Time to hear from the coaches, brought to you by Gallagher's Pizza. Gallagher's Pizza with locations in De Pere, East Green Bay, West Green Bay, and of course their newest location over in Swamico. We start with the Pulaski Red Raiders. They finished second in the FRCC last year, made a deep run in the playoffs. They look to have another solid team this year and hoping to build on last year's success. John had a chance to talk with the Pulaski head coach, Jared Marsh.
Well, thank you, Teddy. Well, Coach, first of all, we're just reminiscing about last year as well. You guys against Bayport, about 90 degrees. Mosquitoes were unbelievable, and you had more people at that game. Remember, 45 minutes before kickoff in Pulaski, the stands were completely full, and then you had to open up around the track. Wasn't it amazing the community support that came out for that game?
Yeah, it was neat to have a game like that between us and Bayport that meant a lot at that time of the season, and to see both communities come together like that, and so many people know each other. It was a real neat experience.
Well, you got to have a good experience so far this year, starting off just tremendously well.
Yeah, the boys have really come together. We're not quite where we want to be yet. We think there's a little bit more in there, and probably always strive for that. But they've taken care of what they've had to each week, and this will be a heck of a challenge for us for week 4.
Well, obviously you had one of the top players in the entire state last year in your football team running the offense and playing some pretty tough defense, who's now D1. I mean, that's a pretty big adjustment when you lose a player like that.
Yeah, there's not too many teams, I'm sure, in the state that lose, 3,500 yards out of one kid, and Dylan was a special one for us, and we had a lot of linemen, and defensively we had a nice group in front of them. And we have a lot of guys that don't have a ton of experience or didn't coming into the season. I think we had 2 returning starters on offense, 3 on defense, but, after 2 or 3 weeks, they've been able to figure out what varsity football looks like, the guys that need to step in, and we've been pretty lucky that way.
What do you think about these types of offenses that teams see nowadays? I mean, you guys are sticking to the bread and butter, the old school, whatever you have, but it seems like every couple of years offenses change. I mean, I go back to the wishbone and then the I formation, then the whatever. Man, you guys got to keep up on that stuff, don't you? The natural progression of offenses, what people see on Sundays and Saturdays, and you have a couple good programs that roll through some of the offenses that catch people's attention, and now you see a lot more spread looks, and they try to use the whole field, and so many teams have such good athletes that it's probably right for what they have, and it's been neat to see that development in high school. Well, I think it's cool that Andy Reid of the Kansas State Chiefs says he watches as many high school games as he can, because offensively they're doing things that are innovative that other levels might not be doing. He gives all the credit in the world to high school coaches.
Yeah, you see it throughout the state, and being at it for a handful of years now, the creativity that you see from 8-man to 11-man to small school to big school to whatever that community is really good at and embraces. You get what you get when you show up every Friday night, and those guys get to go pick who they need that fits in their system. But it's pretty cool to have that kind of recognition.
Let's be honest. Anybody in Pulaski, I don't care what age he is, first time he picks up a football, he's going to run that exact same offense you guys are going to run tonight, isn't he?
We've been really blessed to have buy-in through our community on what we've done offensively. There's an attachment to it. They like it, and
it's your brand.
It is, and our community has really embraced that. Our kids have embraced it. And not everybody is going to be 100% behind you, but gosh darn it, our kids go out there and they like it and they know it, and that's all we really can ask for as coaches.
One last question: what do you see on Preble's film?
Jeepers, they always have so many good athletes. I mean, the size of a kid they have. We were just taking a look here in pregame. We haven't won a pregame yet. We're going to come out and we won't be as big as them or as thick as them. And, we're just going to have to battle our tails off against some really talented kids.
Who looks best coming off the bus, right?
Absolutely.
Coach, always a pleasure seeing you. Best of luck tonight. Let's have some fun.
You as well. Take care.
Thanks. Teddy?
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Let's talk a little bit about Green Bay Preble now. Of course, we mentioned they're 1-2 on the season right now. Now, tonight is not a must-win for the Hornets, but if they can get a win tonight, that certainly builds a lot of confidence heading into the second half of the season. And John had a chance to talk with their head coach, Dustin Gresson.
Well, Coach, first of all, last time we got together like this was a playoff game against Neenah. Good experience for your team, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a great experience, very quality football program, and great coaching staff. So, I know, as I was telling you earlier, we picked them up as our scrimmage this year, so Coach Young and I have decided that we'll continue with that, and it's going to be a great test for both teams.
I just thought that was a huge achievement for you guys last year, getting to that playoff game.
Yeah, I believe it was our 7th year in a row making the playoffs, so hopefully this year we're going to make it 8, and that's one of our goals as a team.
Those kind of things can carry over so much in the off season, can't they? It's almost that carrot dangling out there, because there's a special feeling of playoff week in preparations for your kids. You don't have to dig deep. They know how exciting that can be.
Yeah, playoff football is very exciting in Wisconsin, so to be able to make the playoffs is awesome. Our goal this year now is not to only make the playoffs, but also to win a playoff game. So
now, did you plan on having the toughest stretch of your regular season early on for the third? Because your last 3 opponents now, coming into this one unbeaten.
Yeah, it was. It's great to have a early test to see where you gauge with the conference, and then we can build on our mistakes throughout the next couple of weeks, and hopefully at the end of the season be in full stride.
Seem to be doing some nice things on offense.
Yeah, we got some weapons. We have some good players, good returning skill guys, and a lot of good athletes. So we just got to get them the ball and let them make plays.
What do you hang your hat on with this team?
I think what we hang our hat on is their effort and how they just enjoy football. And they come together as a team and a family. And I think the better teams come together and play together, the further you can go. And that's our goal, is to continue to have this team come together, so then we hit full stride.
What do you see when you watch this team on film, Pulaski?
We see that they run the ball a lot. So
like always.
Yeah, but they do have a good line and some good running backs and athletes as well. So as long as we play disciplined, assignment sure football, I hope and I think we can come out with the W.
Unique offense to get used to, though, isn't it?
Yeah, when you're playing spread teams the majority of the time in the conference, you got to kind of shift gears when you play against a team like this, and it tests the assignments and how these guys can do what you tell them to do.
One last thing is, anybody told you look like Packers head coach LaFleur?
No, you're the first guy.
Okay.
Let's. I'm okay with that. And
okay.
So.
Because I was talking to him. He said a lot of people think he's you.
Oh, hey.
He said he gets it all the time.
Perfect.
Like, are you the coach at Preble?
I believe that.
Okay. That make your night?
Yeah. Hey. Right. Make our night.
Coach, always good seeing you.
You too. Thank you.
Let's have some fun tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Teddy?
Thank you very much, gentlemen. All right, getting ready for Preble and Pulaski tonight. Of course, those coaches' interviews were brought to you by Gallagher's Pizza, with locations in De Pere, East Green Bay, West Green Bay, and their newest location in Swamico. Pulaski, Preble at the top of the hour. FRCC football coming your way on Showdown. back at Preble High School and getting ready for the big matchup between Pulaski and Preble. Time to take a look at our starting lineups, Johnny. And I think we're starting with the Preble offense. Let's see what graphic we got there. We got Preble.
That's what we got, buddy.
How about that? We'll start with that. Berge, he will be starting tonight at quarterback, completing over 50% of his passes. Rainier, his top receiver, already 22 receptions.
I know. Isn't that amazing in 3 games? Yep.
Howell has the most carries this season for the Preble Hornets, and Andy Rodriguez, second team all-conference along the line in 2018. Take a look at the Preble defense now. And Champagne leading the team in tackles, while Williams has 3 sacks. Yang and Hensham each have a pick this season. So good defense there. Take a look at the defense for the Red Raiders now. And the defense, Max Brudette, the leading tackler there. Brock Ignarski, guy you got to keep track of on the defensive backfield. A couple of picks this season. Logan Kobus comes off the bench.
Yeah.
And he's leading the team in sacks. So
it's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, you don't even see his name up there. But
kind of a spot player that really produces when he's on the field.
We'll be talking about him. And then the offense for Pulaski again. Nash Lemron, just as likely to run as you will throw the ball.
Outstanding football player, you bet. Yeah. Put the ball in his hands, he'll make something happen.
Yeah. We are getting ready for a kickoff here. It's coming up at the top of the hour. It is Pulaski and Preble on Showdown. It's week 4, if you can believe it. We're getting deep into the season.
Like I said, what happens now? You separate the wheat from the chaff.
The chafe.
We're going
to look that up.
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back. This is Showdown. Back at Preble, just minutes away from the kickoff. The pregame show continues. Ted and Johnny with you. Let's take a look at what happened last week for these two teams. Pulaski taking on Sheboygan North. Wasn't much of a game as Pulaski moved to 3-0 on the season with that big win, John.
Yeah, and before that, they knocked off Manitowoc 35-0, so they committed to today's ball game with back-to-back shutouts. Their only loss was to Sheboygan South, 21-14 season opener. A Sheboygan South team that's surprising people this year to start the season.
Yeah, picked up a win, and
win over Notre Dame.
A very nice win.
Yep.
We're going to see the Notre Dame team a little bit later this season. And you take a look at Preble and Ashwaubenon last week, and there's that Ashwaubenon team. Ashwaubenon 3-0 on the season. I think they surprised some people here at Preble last week.
No question about it. New coaching staff, so you never know what to expect, but they've gotten off to a great start. So like I was saying, for Preble's last three opponents, pretty much undefeated. I mean, just great teams that they've played. But it's one of those things, too, where tonight's ball game, I think a lot of coaches have had times to make some adjustments, maybe see some kids who should be playing more, whatever. But I just think tonight's ball game is a real big ball game at this point of the season for everybody to play.
Ryan Brugge was the quarterback last week for Preble. He went 11 for 23 through the air, 144 yards. No touchdowns, but a couple of interceptions. And he will be the starter tonight. Jamar Howell, 19 carries, just under 100 yards. No touchdowns there, but Chris Burns did have a couple of touchdowns on 12 carries last week.
Right, and I'll tell you what, if JoJo O'Leary for Pulaski gets in the ball game, he's 2 for 2 passing with 2 touchdowns. Pretty good quarterback rating.
Now it's time to break for the national anthem. Is coming up next. It's Pulaski and Preble. This is My New 32 Sports Showdown. Tonight's Showdown game of the week on My New 32 is brought to you by Gallagher's Pizza, Italian food, Irish spirit. Packerland Home Improvement, it's your home. Simon's Specialty Cheese, home of world champion cheeses. Cobeson Buses, family pride in every ride. And Gandrud West Mason Value Center, where selection, dependability, and value collide.
From Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's time for live coverage of high school football. It's week 4 of the regular season, and tonight we showcase the FRCC as we have Preble taking on Pulaski.
It's going to be fun, Teddy. You know, we haven't been here for a long time. In fact, the last time we were here, they dedicated it to some former great coaches here at Preble. We're going to be talking a little bit later at halftime about a great project they've got in the works about doing an entirely new surface on this football field, but still a great setting across from legendary Preble High School, place where the NCAA men's Division I basketball team won the national championship.
We are underway. It is Preble wearing their dark green uniforms and helmets. Pulaski's in their white jerseys, white helmets with red trim. Nice return here for the Hornets to open up the game as Ben Navarre brings it out to across the 30-yard line.
Jake Binkowski, number 2, with the tackle. So here's where Preble takes over, 1st and 10. Again, last time we saw them was in a playoff loss to Neenah last year, down in Neenah. Trying to bring a lot of players up to snuff right now. That's the turf I was talking about there.
That's the
news
turf going away.
Yeah, that's what we're just showing you, like to get the. It's gonna be gone. Yep.
Change that shot up, and here we
Anytime.
go. First play of the game. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. The handoff straight up the middle. Not much happening there as they tried to force it up the middle.
Number 26, Kyle Reichel, coming up making the stop for Pulaski.
Jamar Howell, the first carry of the ball game. 115 yards carrying the ball this season.
You know, they'll do a little bit of anything. I mean, Preble's one of those teams, you know, they'll run it if they've got the good running backs. They'll throw it if they've got the good quarterbacks. They've had some really good quarterbacks over the years.
Howell
big fella
gets
again.
the call again near the first down, but will be, it looks like about a yard shy.
Nice hole that time. Big running back. Jamar Howell, 210, 5'9", 210.
Picking up
size.
just over 3 yards a carry. A little better that time.
Looks like they're coming out trips left on a 3rd and 1 from the 36-yard line.
We talk about the innovation and some different
Yeah.
looks that we'll see from different high school teams, and
Yeah.
you'll certainly see them from these two teams.
3rd and 1, 4 wide receivers, lone setback in the backfield, and the quarterback in the shotgun.
The big guy Howell in the backfield. You might see him here. You do. Picks up the first down and then some out near the 50-yard line.
Rumble, big man Rumble. Had nice blocking on that right side. Preble offensive line, good size on that offensive line. They opened up some spots that time, just kind of plowing the way. They only needed a yard. They got more than that. Gordon Caleb, number 75, 6'1", 241. Helped leading the way that time. Good seal block right there. He does the rest. 4 wide receivers once again.
And again on the ground. So just a steady diet on the ground. And right now, Pulaski having trouble stopping that run.
Kyle Reichel coming up once again to make the stop. Reichel number 26. Coming up, Reichel. 6'2", 161.
No huddle. 2nd and 7. Brugge, hand off to Howell, and Howell's going to lose about 2 or 3 yards.
Big play, Max Burdett, number 20 for Pulaski. Shot the gap that time. I think it was almost Pulaski thinking, you know what? They're going with their bread and butter. Let's just bring it up. Kind of a safety blitz. Stops them for no gain at all right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Ryan Brugge getting the start at quarterback tonight.
But they've used 2 quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, Evan Holm we thought he might be the starter tonight, but still getting over some injuries and getting the night off. So 3rd and 4, actually 3rd and 10, I'm saying here. And Brugge in trouble, and down he goes. Another loss, big sack for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, that was beyond trouble. That was just, I'll tell you what, they came after him with everything that time. He didn't have a chance. As soon as he looked up, Nathan Apps, number 33 for Pulaski, was absolutely right there. Apps, 5'10", 230-pound linebacker.
So Caden, the captain, on to punt for Preble.
Nice drive, but nice job on the part of Pulaski then. Kind of showing some dominance on defense.
And Lekowski
Nice snap.
waiting for the return.
Rugby style.
The captain. Let's see if O'Leary
Out
back
at the
there.
16.
Yeah. And we'll step away. You're watching Showdown. So after the punt, Pulaski takes over. 1st and 10 on their own 17-yard line. Our first look at their offense. Try a little something up the middle and maybe a 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, just kind of, feeling out like a boxer coming out with that first punch of the game. Caleb Gorton, number 75, one of the bodies in there for Preble. They had a bunch of them. Gorton, 6'1", as I mentioned, 240. Plays both sides. But again, if you want to see a unique offense, if you've never seen the Pulaski offense, there's different teams around the state. Menominee, Michigan has played it well over the years, but the quarterback has to be a good runner. I mean, he simply must be a great runner for this offense to work.
We saw that last year for sure. And down goes Lemmeron. Nash Lemmeron, the quarterback for Pulaski, and back near the original line of scrimmage.
Caitlin Wanner. Wanner making the stop that time. You mentioned right at the line. Well, he gained about a yard, fell forward. But that quarterback last year for Pulaski, 6'3", 6'4", about 225, 230. He was just unbelievable running this offense. And the ball was in his hands basically every single play. Now playing linebacker at North Dakota State.
He's already put on about 25 pounds, Coach was saying.
Direct snap
So
to the wing
down,
back.
Yep.
This is a nice job. That's JoJo O'Leary. As I mentioned, he's thrown 2 passes and threw touchdowns for both passes. So I'd say that's perfect passing ratio, isn't it? I mean, I don't know how to figure that one out, but that one I think I can figure out.
2
for 2 and 2 touchdowns. Don't think you can do that. Do better than that.
So 3 and out. The Red Raiders, now they line up for a punt. Nash Lemmeron.
Both teams pretty conservative here, first quarter. Just to be expected. Why not? Kind of feel the other team out a little bit. High snap does a nice job getting it down.
Logan
Short
Coates.
punt.
It goes up and takes a fortunate bounce for Pulaski, but Preble's going to have great position when we come back. You're watching Showdown. So after a short punt, Preble, great field position, sitting on the Pulaski 37-yard line as they begin this drive. Handoff, different running back this time. And maybe back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a short gain there, John.
Yeah, changing up a little bit that time, but once again, the Pulaski defense right on that one. Bo Van Lanen, number 57, snuffed that one out early. Wrapped his arms around him. 6'1", 205, Van Lanen, so gain of 1. About the 36.
Chris Burns with that first carry of the drive. Preble will mix up the running backs. Burns takes a little pitch, trying to come to the near side, trying to turn the corner, but tracked down quickly.
Max
Yeah, Burdett in there again. Burdett just a sophomore linebacker.
really active, though. Just watching him out there, Ted, just amazingly active. 5'10", 195, nice size for a sophomore. He just really sniffed out that play quickly.
Well, here we are with another
third
third
and long.
long. Yeah, 3rd and 6, sitting on the 34. Preble trying to pick up a first down, keep this drive alive with this outstanding field position. Going to get a little help.
Won't be a first down, but it'll make it 3rd and short if it is against Pulaski. You know, it's amazing, Ted, going through the talking to the coach.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense,
And that's
5-yard penalty,
both
remains
teams, how many
3rd
points
down.
They have in college football. It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking all D1, but just how many kids must just love football.
We're seeing
from these
that
two
more
schools.
and more, though. I mean, it's not just
Incredible.
these 2 schools. We're seeing more and more kids put in the time, put in the sacrifice to make that next level. By the way, our white cap tonight, the gentleman leading that officiating crew, Terry Restrati. So here's a 3rd and 1, and not
I
happening.
Don't think so.
4th down coming up.
Well, that defense right now for Pulaski is really having their way. Number 57, Bo Van Lanen, and Max Burdett again combining on that stop. No gain whatsoever, but it looks like Preble's going to go for it. Switching running backs once again. Preble bringing in Jamar Howell, the bigger back.
4-down territory, John.
No question about it. That's my favorite term, isn't it? How many times did I use that last week?
In the 2nd and 3rd downs,
How good was that game last week?
It's beautiful.
It's incredible.
Final act, Kimberly last week in overtime again. So here we go, 4th and 1. Howell gets the call. He's got some room on the near side. First down for the Hornets. That'll keep the drive moving.
Number 82, Nathan Vanseth, got enough of a block that time to spring him. Didn't need a lot, but Vanseth did a nice job getting in front of his guy, shielding him, moving him backwards.
Nice play here, though, don't you think? You're
Absolutely.
thinking 4th and 1. You're thinking the big guy's just going to pound it up the middle.
Right. First time he went off tackle. Basically around the end. Moves well for a guy his size.
Ball on the 25-yard line. Fresh set of downs for the Hornets. Trips to the right. They give to Howell. He jumps over the line of scrimmage and will pick up about 8.
Nice job of the Preble offensive line that time. Logan Nowak, one of the guys helping lead the way. That was probably the most well-blocked play of this ball game so far. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it was, they really opened up a hole. That's one of the first big holes we have.
You bet.
Also, Tyler Hopp, number 50, getting a block there. Top 5'11", 216. So we're sticking with Howell at running back.
2nd and 3.
4 wide receivers. Another offside. Nope.
Time's running out here. They
I
might get
guess
a delay of game, and they will.
Yeah, and they will. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Nope, it's
Oh,
not
it was
a delay
timeout.
game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the official in the secondary raise his hand.
Yeah, he was counting down.
Which meant the
coaches
countdown
saw
has
it,
begun.
too.
Exactly.
We'll step away. You're watching Showdown on My New 32. So again, that was a timeout for Preble to avoid the delay of game penalty. So it remains 2nd and 3. They give to Howell. Howell comes to the near side again inside the 10-yard line as the drive continues. Another first down for the Hornets.
Once he gets downhill, it starts rumbling. It'll take a couple of bodies to drag him down. Because once he gets that momentum, he's not super quick hitting the hole, but once he gets that momentum, he's got some force coming his way. Right here, you can just see it. There's the power right there.
Great camera work there. You look right into the helmet.
Absolutely.
You see the eyes surveying the field. So a 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Trips to the right again. They give to Howell. Howell will try the right side, and he's inside the 5.
Great block, Logan Nowak that time. Number 70. He did a great job opening up that hole. Got on the inside of his man, shielded and moved him to the right side. And Howell, as soon as he got the ball, he saw daylight right in front of him. Great job, number 70.
So a 2nd and goal coming up. Ball sitting on the 3-yard line. Put a man in motion. But again, Howell looking left side, has to cut back. Is he in? He reaches for the end zone. They're going to say no.
You know, that play was designed as a sweep. They pulled the guard. That was designed as a power sweep to the left. And Howell sensed a bunch of white shirts going that way, and he cut completely back against the grain, totally on his own.
He was close.
But he got close.
Ooh.
Looked
close. Like he got so close it looked like he was in. But it brings up a 3rd and goal from the 1. Howell again,
play.
Little confusion as to which side they were going to. And that'll be a loss of yardage and a 4th down coming.
Wow, that's a big broken play right there. Man, I thought he was in, though, didn't you?
Well, that replay, yeah. Well,
maybe from our angle it was, whatever. But or maybe the knees were down beforehand. I just thought he was over from our vantage point.
Yeah.
And I would never disagree with, anything else in football, men in stripes or anything else. Yeah,
never,
one of them never.
Here is a 4th and goal. Ball back to the 3-yard line now. A couple of receivers to the left. They look to the right.
Fade.
And there's a flag on the play. The ball is no signal. Caught. Touchdown.
Flag in the backfield. The ref threw the flag before the ball was caught. Not that would matter, but it's against Preble. Yep. Wow, 2 costly plays for Preble here.
Coming back.
Inside the 2-yard line. Those are big. Well, now do you kick maybe? Bringing in a lot of new bodies.
Now the kicker is Bennett Vine. I don't believe he has a field goal attempt.
Holding. Offense.
So
10-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Well, that was a nice pass and catch, though, wasn't it? Great effort. Nice pass by the quarterback. Just a great effort right there, going it up and taking away from the defensive back. I know it doesn't show up in the stats as a completion, but Nick Renier did a great job. 22 catches, as we mentioned, coming into this ball game after just 3 games. So they're going to try one.
Yeah, Bennett Vine comes on, junior kicker. 8 of 9 with the extra points this season, but I believe this is his first field goal attempt.
Not an easy one either. 23, 33, 40-yard field goal attempt.
The holder is Hunter Yang. Snap. The kick looks good.
Oh! Hits the pipe.
And it is no good.
Just started fading to the left, huh? Which is surprising because the wind's actually going more in the opposite direction.
Yeah, and he was checking the wind. I mean, obviously, it's been a very windy day today. Here's another look at it. Thought he had this
distance and just drifted to the left. Just kind of died right at the end.
And you can see the wind.
That's what I mean, going the opposite direction. So if anything, you would have thought that wind would catch it and pull it back in.
Yeah, and may have been trying to play the wind a little bit too much.
Yeah, very good possibility. Yeah. Try to aim a little bit left, and it just didn't take. Big stand for Pulaski there. Wow.
So Pulaski begins their drive on the 20, and a nice little hole here. And a good start to this drive.
Big hole there that time.
Ben Redlin.
Hunter Yang coming up, making the stop, number 24. Good aggressive tackle by Yang.
So no score. Under a minute to play in this first quarter.
Actually, that called back touchdown was their only pass, wasn't it? Of the game so far?
Yes. And a first down. So look at the Red Raiders picking up a little bit of steam.
Yeah, new life for the Red Raiders on that run right there.
Marashik.
Aaron Marashik. Rumbling through. It's a good Pulaski name, isn't it?
Marashik. Yep. Another sophomore.
Yeah.
Some good young players on both teams.
They're not afraid to play young players, I'll tell you that. No. Pulaski's always been that way.
Let's see if they can get this play off in the final seconds here in the first quarter. And they do. And it Is that a direct snap?
Yeah, that was a direct snap. Yeah, they like to do those things every once in a while.
All right, we have reached the
snap to the wingback.
End of the first quarter, and we are scoreless. Pulaski and Preble, FRCC football on Showdown tonight. Underway here at Preble High School. Second quarter just underway as Preble, who had a couple of good snaps right before the end of that first quarter, moving the ball a little bit here.
Well, they had it on the, you better tell you what, but Preble having it on the 1 yard line, real close play to whether or not the running back scored, and then a touchdown pass, a real nice play by Renier and the quarterback. That called back as well. So it almost seems like Pulaski has new life right now with their offense after that stop, because they're doing a few things that are a little bit different. That time, once again, JoJo O'Leary taking the snap, taking the direct snap. And this is tough. When you're a defense, look, you got two guys back there. You don't know who's going to get the snap.
And that time, it's Lance Vanderkorpen.
Yeah. So somebody else carrying the football. I mean, that's what I mean. As a defense, you almost have to just almost play your zone. Forget where the ball's going. You have to just say, okay, if it comes this way, I'm staying here. I'm not chasing ghosts. That's the only way you can defend these kind of teams with that kind of an offense. Because if you try trying to figure out who has the ball and commit.
This is one of your favorite offenses, isn't it?
It is. It really and truly is. Air Force Academy runs kind of an offense like this.
Four guys in the backfield.
Yes.
There. And a different carrier that time.
Yeah, they'll use a bunch from Benjamin Redlin, the carrier that time.
And you're right. Last year, it was a steady dose of Dylan Hendricks.
Right. Every play almost. Louis, 90% of the plays.
And these are pretty much direct snaps to a different guy.
Whoever's going to carry it. Ian Henja, number 27, making the stop that time for Preble. Nice job by the running back to carry that ball up high and tight. He was going for the strip, 3rd and 1. Big play for Pulaski here on the Preble 41.
Throw man out to the right. That's Morashek.
That's JoJo.
And JoJo O'Leary with a first down.
Takes it over the right side, gets some good blocking. And again, these might look like really basic plays, but they're not if you're wearing a green jersey, because there's so many other things happening that you have to watch for. You know, from here we just think, well, it's just a snap to a guy and he gains 4 yards. There's so much more when you watch the other motion taking place away from the ball.
Well, you sit up here, you look for the quarterback. Well, Lemerant's not even in the game.
No, exactly. So who's going to get it? You have two quarterbacks in the game right now.
O'Leary again takes the snap, ducks his head, and got by the first would-be tackler.
Right, got by the first guy, and that's the fellow we've seen make a lot of tackles so far, Ian Henjum. Then Caleb Gorton, I think it was, that wrapped him up, made the stop. So 2nd and 3. So he broke that tackle right there, did a nice job. Actually, the tackle was made by Ben Johnson, number 74, Ben Johnson.
So 2nd and 3. We got O'Leary in the backfield with Redlin. O'Leary takes the snap. And he's going to be really close to another first down.
Boy, 27 is just all over the field, though, isn't he?
Marash.
Ian Henjum. Wow. He's making play after play for Preble. By the way, did you notice how they nickname, or not nickname, but the different positions, their names with the different things?
For the positions?
Yeah,
yes.
I love that.
Yes,
love
I
how
did.
they do that. Just gives you a little bit more something, doesn't it?
Do you have the list?
I don't know if I do.
Yeah.
I play the stinger position. Love that.
And another first down for Pulaski. So a really nice drive here.
Well, this game's going to be over in about 20 minutes. I mean, if nobody throws the ball, there's no incompletions. It's almost like a running clock, isn't it? New ball player in there now, Joe Shizmansky, 5'7", 200-pounder. Guess which team Shemansky plays for?
Pulaski.
You know that. You know, he gets some of those.
Shemansky, of course, famous name for girls basketball. Mariah Shemansky's playing some college basketball out at Sioux Falls.
Absolutely.
That's Mariah's cousin out there, J.J. Shemansky.
Wow, strong run that
Redlin
time.
with the carry again.
You bet. Strong run. You know, he eats a few of those huchpas.
Huchpas?
Isn't it huchpas?
Hutchkies?
Hutchkies, yeah. You know,
What did you call them?
Huchpas.
Huchpas.
What is it again?
Chaff. Chafe.
What is it?
Punchkies.
Punchkies. On Good Friday. Not Good Friday. We went over this one time. Ash Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday.
Yes.
2nd and 4. And Redlin just keeps those
Another
legs
nice
churning and has another first down. For
offensive line doing a nice job just getting enough of the hole, and the running backs are doing the rest after that. Another nice hole by that offensive line for Pulaski. And this is a methodical drive, isn't it? Almost exactly like the one Preble had going in the same direction just a few minutes back.
Simon's Cheese is our instant replay sponsor tonight. Simon's is the home of multiple world champion cheeses. Simon's Cheese located off Highway 41 at the Little Chute exit. Stop there today. 1st and 10 now from the 13. O'Leary tries to turn the corner. Slipped a little bit, but that didn't stop him from picking up another 6.
No, he had a nice block route. Ben Ridlin, number 22. They double-teamed the defensive back coming up. That double team is what you need with that Ian Hendrum, number 27, because he just does a great job coming up and making plays. 2nd and 5 on the 7. So a great drive by Pulaski here right now. Wow, one wide receiver way out to the left. Past the hash marks.
2nd and 5, little misdirection this time.
Nice job by Preble at times staying home. You know what I was talking about, like not chasing ghosts? They absolutely stayed home that time. Paid no attention to the misdirection.
So 3rd down coming up here, John.
Need I say it?
No, don't.
Okay, I won't. Wow. I guess I won't.
The fans have spoken.
All right.
Wait for one more down before you possibly mention the 4th down.
Look at the throw.
So Lemeron goes to the arrow. Oh, that one is tipped away, and now you may say it, my friend.
4 down territory, and it's 4th down. What a great play that time. Ben Ridlin, number 22. There was a man out there, Berge, rolling around, looking for his man. Looked like a nice ball, and in the last second, great play. Looked like his man was open in the corner of the end zone. 4th down.
Sitting on the 5-yard line. They only need 2 to pick up a first down here. And they may. That should be
Lance Vandecourt.
Yeah, I think
number
he's got
5.
enough for a first down here.
And he does. So 1st and goal from the 1. Like I said, exactly the same situation
Vandecourt.
that Preble was in a few minutes back. From there, everything went wrong. Kind of a mess up in the backfield and a holding call and a potential touchdown pass.
So 1st and goal from the 1. Maybe a little confusion there, but it doesn't matter because we've got a Pulaski touchdown. Thought there was a little.
I did too, but I don't know if that was designed that way because your guys going in a couple different directions. But either way, when Ridlin got the ball, I think Preble was a little bit back on their heels in order to who does have the football here, what's going on. So whether it was a busted play in a little bit or not, I think it really worked to their advantage. Oh, there you go. What was that one? Is that the bus? No, that's not the bus. So a touchdown for Pulaski.
There's the bus. 6 points. Now the extra point for Pulaski. Kick is up, and it is good by Isaac Hankey. It's 7-0. Pulaski leading Preble. You're watching Showdown. Pulaski up 7-0 over Preble with 5:37 remaining in the first half. By the way, Packerland Home Improvement. Quality window and door replacement since 1973. It matters. It's your home. Packerland Home Improvement, our scoreboard sponsor for the 2019 high school football season. Thank you very much.
Tell you what, if you put in the backfield for Pulaski, you have to think your chances are pretty good of getting into the ball game. I mean, how many different guys carried the ball in that series? Wasn't that incredible?
There's a bunch of them back there. Redland ended up getting the touchdown run.
Very impressive drive for Pulaski. And again, Preble has to be saying, what if?
Yeah, we're supposed to be the watch game. Salman's watching.
This one fielded and run across the 25. We'll step away. You're watching Showdown. We'll be right back. So Preble begins this drive on their own 30-yard line. 5:31 remaining in this first half.
Looking deep
for a man, and that is almost picked off. The receiver became the defender on that one.
Yeah, nice job of knocking it down because that had a really good chance of being picked.
Nick Renier, the intended receiver, turned defensive back.
Chase Renke, number 28 in defense for Pulaski, did a really nice job. 5'10", 147, going up against Renier, who's 6'4", 195. That was a big play. They're probably looking for that mismatch. That's why they called that play.
Second down. Nice cutback, found the hole. Short gain.
Tough defense that time. Max Burdett once again, number 20 for Pulaski.
Chris Burns.
You know, I like Preble's attitude though, trying to go deep right after a touchdown. I like that. You got the big, tall receiver. You mentioned he's got 22 catches already this season, going up against a smaller defensive back, but big man does know his win.
Yeah, that pass, so that may have been one that was affected by the wind.
No question about it. Really hung up. I thought the same thing. Took off nice, left his hand nice, and then it just sort of died in the wind. Got that crosswind going right now from we are right across the field.
Back and forth between the crosswind and then into the Preble face.
Yeah.
I'll give this time Gatlin Warner.
Yep, there it is. So that's pretty straight. That's been going pretty much
straight
non-stop.
Across now.
Yes, straight across. Now it just turned. Exactly. Now it's heading to the north. Exactly, from the south. And now it's back the other way again.
It's that kind of night.
Somebody texted me and said, "Do you have cement in your hair? Because it's not moving. It's not moving." Yeah, I don't give away my secrets.
No secrets. Keep them to yourself, my friend.
That's right. It's a big stop for Pulaski. Nice punt.
The captain punts it away. O'Leary turns it upfield, and that's where Pulaski will start. When we come back, you're watching Showdown. First and 10 on the 42 as Pulaski begins this drive. And across the 50-yard line and a first down to start this drive for Pulaski. It was Redland on the carry.
You know, Redland's averaging 6.5 yards per carry coming into this ball game, and he's not hurting that average at all tonight. I like what they do, though. It's basically a lead play, like an ISO play, where he has the other running back leading the way, but the offensive line did such a nice job that the lead blocker didn't really need to touch anybody. It got that far downfield before they had contact.
Redland got out of bounds, so the clock stopped at 3:43. Redland again
Wrestled down by Big Ben Johnson, number 74. Johnson, 6 foot 230.
Pulaski's got 3 timeouts to work with if they need them. Preble still has a couple left.
Well, they need all the time they can get to score. I mean, with this kind of an offense, obviously. I mean, they'd show up. I mean, that's the problem with playing a Pulaski team. If you fall far behind and they've got the ball, they'll take 4, 5, 6 minutes off on every series if they get a couple of first downs. And they don't do much to stop the clock themselves.
2nd and 4.
A little encroachment.
Is that the second time they got him to move?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sure is. Second time. Who's our official?
Terry.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
You don't mess with the Verstrati. Sounds like a tough name.
I would know that.
The Verstrati brothers are in town. Look out.
2nd and 4.
Looking deep.
Lemeron.
O'Leary.
Has O'Leary. O'Leary tried to cut it back. Good job by the defense to close in and stop him from scoring, but that's a big play by O'Leary.
You know, nice job by the quarterback over there, Nash Lemeron. He looked at receivers going deep to the right, but found O'Leary. See the receiver running deep on that right sidelines? I thought that was his intended receiver, but that was actually just a sole decoy. He was looking to the left the entire time, and O'Leary was wide open.
Ball sitting on the 9-yard line. So a 1st and goal.
O'Leary.
O'Leary tries the right side and
wrapped up again by one of the best defensive players I've seen so far this year, Ian Henjum. Wow. Guy doesn't miss many tackles. 5'11", 175 pounds.
He came in with 14 tackles on the season.
Right.
Look at this form close tackle. To that again tonight.
Put that one on a training tape. I mean, that's a form tackle right there. Doesn't lower his head, gets in front of him, wraps up, keeps his head up.
Against an outstanding running back receiver as well.
You bet.
2nd and goal. Ball still on the 9. Direct snap, Redlin. Redlin battling inside the 5.
Down to about the 2-yard line. Maybe a little bit less. This is where it's real tough for a defense with Pulaski's offense because they have so many different directions they can go, and they only need about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards. Not a lot of negative yardage plays with Pulaski with this offense.
So 3rd and goal. Redlin in the back.
Wow.
Somebody's got it, John.
I'll tell you
and a 4th down coming up. I don't even know who that ball went to.
Well, that went to Szymanski. Okay, on the short snap right there, number 40. Gave it to him on the quick short snap as he was lined up as a fullback behind the guard. But again, a great play by 27. He's incredible.
Pulaski will take a timeout here.
This is a big play coming up right here. Chance to go up by 2 scores going into halftime, or give Preble a lot of momentum by stopping them.
So we talk about all the different options they have in this Pulaski offense. I want to go back and take a look at that last snap.
By the way, Henjum's official position?
Yeah.
Sting. He's the Sting man.
Yeah. That's a linebacker.
Like that. You got the Falcon,
Strong.
that's Yang.
That's a safety.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go.
See that quick short snap and just wrapping him up. Hey, Stripes, get out of the way. Come on. I'm trying to watch a ball game here. Come on. Really? Is that too much to ask?
See if we can back that up again. I want to see it from the formation to the snap.
Right. He was lined up just to the right of center, and the quick snapped it to him, short snapped it. He tried scoring.
Here we go once again.
Right there.
Yeah, Redlin sold it.
Great, yeah, Redlin sold it.
Okay, so here we go. 4th and goal. Ball on the 1-yard line. Look at this set. Redlin gets the snap, looking for the end zone. No signal yet. Now there is. Touchdown, Pulaski.
Well, that was just a meat grinder in the middle right that time. They just lined it up. They said, listen, we're going to put as many bodies as we can right behind center and just try to push it over from about 1.5 yards out. And it worked to perfection for Pulaski.
Redlin with his 2nd touchdown of the game. Has confetti.
Confetti?
flies.
Where'd that come from? That's pretty cool. I love that. They shoot that out of a cannon or something? Looks like it, huh?
Pulaski fans. The extra point is good, and the Red Raiders have come to Green Bay and have taken a 14-0 lead.
One more time. Bobble the snap a little bit. Just, wow. I'll tell you what, he really had to fight his way through. Whew. Nice job just holding it over. That was a lot closer than I thought from back here, Ted. Wasn't it, though? I mean, he was stuck at the line of scrimmage. It was that second and third effort that got him across, maybe even just holding the ball across.
But touchdown for Pulaski. Hey, the way you get your news has changed. I don't know if you know that or not, Johnny.
I didn't.
Yeah, NBC 26 is on the cutting edge as Northeast Wisconsin's streaming leader. Available on Roku, Amazon Alexa, and on all the most popular social media platforms. Connecting you with the news you can use when and where you need it. On air, online, on your time.
Nice. I'm a big fan of Roku.
Roku.
Yeah. It's an offshoot of it.
The Alexa?
Yeah. You kidding me? That's what Boy, they sure bring it, don't they, though? Pulaski fans. I still say, Ted, the greatest atmosphere of all the games we've done as far as fan involvement-wise, Bayport Pulaski last year when they had thousands around the field.
I thought you were going to say mosquitoes.
Oh, that too. That was unbelievable. That was beyond belief.
But there were, incredible show of support for both teams.
I caught malaria that night.
That's not true.
It might be.
So here's the return. A flag comes in. 2 flags from opposite ends of the field.
Nice return, Connor Sefcik. I think they're coming back. Probably blocks in the back.
Yeah, this is a spot here. Holding, return team. 10 yards penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Preble.
Well, they tried going deep on that one play. You know, they've got a nice passing attack. They really do. They haven't used it a lot yet tonight. But we'll see if they try to open it up here. A long way to go and a short time to get there. Yep, hold right there. Oh, and a little extracurricular, huh? Yep. All right, here we go.
A couple of timeouts for Preble to work with. But
2 wide receivers to the left, 2 wide receivers to the right.
Berge brings him to the line.
And the
jet
handoff.
Sweep here. Navarre, and he's going to lose a bunch.
They'll lose a bunch, and that might be it. I wouldn't be surprised if Preble just runs it down at this point now. He lost at least 5 on that one.
Well, if you're Pulaski, I guess you're not going to use some timeouts here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this might be it as far as... They're doing a lot of shifting around there in the backfield. Again, 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 wide receivers to the left.
Looking to the near side,
It's
has big tight end, Rainier.
It's about 2 yards shy of the first down. 18 seconds left. Timeout called by Preble. Nice ball. That was a real nice ball. Comes right over the top. Right in his receiver's hands. Ryan Berge.
Yeah, I was thinking, Rainier a tight end, but he's not. He's just
a wideout,
big,
right? 6'4",
long
175
receiver.
wideout.
Well, we have a special guest at
Yes,
halftime.
we do.
Taped an interview before the game to share at halftime.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those things where it seems like everybody these days wants to have the great new turf, and this is one of the last schools in a lot of ways that don't have it. So we're going to talk with Dan Retzky at halftime. He's the athletic director here at Preble. You know, last time we were here years ago, they were dedicating this field to some Pat Prochnow and some other former coaches and everything. Way back in the, I think, 2003, we were here when they dedicated the field, the brand new field, and now they're looking to take another step forward with the new turf. What's the proper term for that turf these days? Teddy, it's had different names over the years.
Sports turf.
Sports turf, yeah.
Athletic sport, yeah.
But they're phenomenal. They really and truly are. When you see those turfs, they're outstanding.
Well,
although
say
this
that the
field
folks that took
is
care
in
of this
great
field,
shape with all the rain we've had over the last couple of days. Are you kidding me?
Take nothing away from the guys
I agree.
that put that together. Here's Berge going deep downfield and
overshoots his man. Had a shot at it. He had 2 defenders on him, but at 6'4", you would have thought if they could have gotten it into his hands, he would have had a chance to make something happen. But 4th down now with 11 seconds left to play.
Yeah, I'm not even sure Rainier. Look back, he was kind of in a wrestling match.
Right, yep. Got a little bit tangled up with the DB. And that was a nice ball because right now that wind is going 3/4 across the field. So that was not wind aided in the least, and that is really gusting hard right now. You can see the bushes behind the punter. We were doing the pregame show. Some of the lights got knocked over with those gusts. And that's a strong wind. Going from the west to the east.
Well, this is a 4th down, so Preble will kick this one away.
And Pulaski doesn't even send anybody back. Let it run out. Run one play, and that'll be it.
1.7 seconds remaining.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Preble has to be looking back and saying, what if with that first half? They're on the 1-yard line. Young man came really close to scoring.
Really close.
And you have to think, really, really close. Then you have to think on the next play, they were going to give it to him again. He needed about 6 inches, and it was a broken play. Okay, so now it was on about the 4-yard line. Then they throw what seems to be a really nice touchdown pass in the corner, and a holding call takes that one back. Then they miss the field goal. He had distance, and it hits the pipe. So they have to be looking back in the first half and saying, hey, this could have been a lot better. Not that it's that bad at 14, but still, they have to think, ooh, we're so close.
Right. Absolutely right, and it still remains a close game. 2-score lead. Pulaski leading Preble 14-0. It is halftime, and you are watching Showdown. Welcome back to Preble High School, everyone. It is halftime. Halftime brought to you by Gandrud, West Mason Value Center, where selection, dependability, and value collide, and no challenge flags are needed. search vehicles starting at $4,900 at GandrudWest.com. As we said, 14-0. Pulaski leading Preble, a very methodical offense, and Pulaski just taking care of business. And we're going to show you some highlights in a little bit here. We're going to get a chance to talk to Dan Redsky in just a moment. But John, some of the dance team members were asking for a shout out. So girls,
they were phenomenal. They were fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Nice job, dance team.
They just performed at halftime, and we have a little tape here, so we wanted to give you the shout-out that we promised you.
Absolutely, and that's all part of it. I'll tell you what, I still get goosebumps every game when we're down there before the ball game, and the band is playing, and the cheerleaders are doing their thing, and the dance team is doing their thing. I just think it's fantastic.
Very precise.
My daughter was huge with the Troyettes at Southwest.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much work it takes to do this kind of stuff.
Well,
you have no idea.
This is Preble, and they were outstanding tonight. So there you go, girls. There's your shout-out. Nice job. Thanks for performing here at halftime. We've got a 14-0 lead for Pulaski over Preble. Halftime continues with an interview with Athletic Director Dan Redsky after this timeout. Back at halftime between Preble and Pulaski. John and I joined by a very special guest, Dan Retzky, the athletic director of athletics here at Green Bay Preble. And Dan, you got something pretty exciting going on here. A lot of buzz around this new facility, new turf that you guys are trying to put in here.
Absolutely. We're kicking off a campaign today, and we got a website all set up, geared at getting Preble some turf, hopefully by next year. It's a two-phase project. The first one is to get some field turf, join some of our neighbors around the country here, and as well have the track redone. And the second phase really is to create some structures and some buildings, as well as some visiting seating on the other side.
And you guys plan on doing this grassroots, don't you?
We do. Everything's grassroots. It's a total funded by donations, so the website allows people to go right on and donate. We have levels of donations that people can make, and names can be put in different places. And really, we want to get the word out. We want the community to be aware of what we're doing, and hopefully some people, generous people, can step forward and help us out with the project.
Dan, we've seen, you've mentioned it, so many schools around the area do already have the turf field. What does a turf field allow a high school like Preble to be able to do that you can't do with a grass field?
Well, right now, probably our biggest struggle comes in the area of soccer. We don't have a field that allows us to host a soccer postseason, and really it opens the door up for a lot of our sports to use. We don't have to worry about drainage. We don't have to worry about cutting grass and worrying about the amount of water we've had this past week.
Yeah.
But it allows us to get on the field quicker and gives our players a good surface to work with.
It's almost going to be state of the art around here too, though, isn't it?
Well, it seems like everybody has it. So it's something we want to do. We just want to get the word out, and hoping people are supportive. And feel free to give me a call. I can go through the different phases and what we're looking to do. But go to the website. There's some renderings on there, as well as what the plan really is in more detail than what I've said here tonight.
How much would you need donation-wise for it to be called the Mino Teddy Stadium?
We could certainly talk about that.
We'll talk. All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
Pocket change.
We'll take
Pocket change
really.
for Mino. Dan Retzky joining us. Thank you so much, sir, and thanks for having us out again.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Halftime continues after this timeout. 14-0. Pulaski leads Preble here at halftime. Johnny, let's go back and take a look at the scoring plays for the Red Raiders.
Well, what Pulaski did is they pretty much did their bread and butter, but first of all, Preble really seemed to have something going when they had their big running back, Howell. He seemed to be an early factor in the ball game.
Yeah, having some trouble.
Okay.
Some gremlins.
Yep. Well, let's take a look at it now. There we go. But he was just a rumbling early on, and they got close. They really did. Preble got inside the 2-yard line. That big fella early on was a force, Jamar Howell. He takes it right there. Watch this guy rumble, breaking tackles, pushing the pile, doing whatever he needed to do to move the ball. But Pulaski is Pulaski, and this is what they do. They run that single wing offense, and they're not afraid to get dirty, down and dirty. They're not afraid to mix it up a little bit. A little misdirection that time with man in motion, and then Ben Redlin with the play. Then a nice pass right there. JoJo, that's my favorite player tonight, at least on Pulaski. JoJo O'Leary, heck of a football player, and then they just pile their way in. This one was really close before they got it in, but he did reach across. That's Redlin once again, Ben Redlin with the touchdown. So Pulaski just doing what Pulaski does, as I mentioned, running that single wing, a lot of misdirection, a lot of different running backs, and a couple of long touchdown drives using up a lot of clock, and they lead it 14-0.
All right, 2-touchdown lead for the Red Raiders over Preble. That'll do it for the halftime show. The halftime show brought to you by Gandrew West Mason Value Center, where selection, dependability, and value collide, and no challenge flags are needed. Search vehicles starting at $4,900 at GandrewWest.com. Welcome back to Preble High School, everyone. Ted Stefaniak, John Mino with you, getting ready for the start of the second half with Pulaski leading Preble 14-0. The Hornets kicking off to Pulaski. That's a low kick. A little trouble handling this one at the 17-yard line. And maybe gets back to the 20.
That's about it. Number 11, Brock Agnarski with the return. But I'll tell you what, once he got a handle on it and he looked up, there was just a tidal wave of green jerseys coming right at him. Be interested to see what happens here. This is a big defensive start for Preble. What you don't want is Pulaski to use up about 7 minutes on the clock like they have a tendency to do and get a score. Because then all of a sudden, man, it is so tough to come back against a team like that. So what Preble needs to do is do everything possible to hold them, maybe to a couple of first downs, whatever, get that football back, march down, and get back offensively into the ball game.
Well, that second quarter just flew by.
Oh, it was incredible. It was incredible.
One drive in almost 8 minutes.
The 12 minutes probably took 14 minutes total.
So Redland gets the first call
to
begin the
nice
second half.
Job.
And he gets a couple of blocks. He's still on his feet across the 50, the 40, trying to get by a tackler. Brought down from behind. What a run, Ben Redland.
What a great job he did. Jaeger Vine took him down, number 13 for Preble. Great effort on the part of Vine. But what a wonderful job Redland does following his blockers. He didn't run away from them. Sometimes guys will try to bypass their blockers, run past them. He doesn't do that. Watch this. He sees where he has the guys in front of him. Just did a great job there till he got into the open, had patience. And again, nice job by number 13, Jaeger Vine, in chasing him down.
Ball over the 50, sitting on the 42-yard line of Preble. Well, this drive won't take very long if you pick up big chunks like that. Here's another 6-yard gain, this time O'Leary.
O'Leary, once again, he had a huge first half, running the football, catching the football, had the one big catch for Pulaski, and I think their only completion of the ball game, to be honest with you. The play looked fantastic, but once again, exactly the opposite of what I said Preble had to do coming out defensively to start this third quarter. 2 huge plays for Pulaski, the first 2 plays of the second half.
Let's see how Preble responds here. This is a 2nd and 5. Is that Redland again?
Redland once again, following his blockers.
And another first down.
Number 75, Zach Barrett, leading the way from on that play. So another first down for
talking
Pulaski.
During the break how quickly the time will run.
That's what I mean.
Pulaski offense.
You bet.
When you pick up big chunks like this.
The only way the clock stops is with a first down.
There it is again.
Look
More
out.
room. Runs into his own man to slow him down, but that was the only way you were going to slow down Redland.
Yeah, for a second I thought he'd be able to get to the outside and take it to the distance. Well, he is their bread and butter right now. Nobody's stopping him. Ben Redland came into the ball game averaging 6.5 yards a carry. But you're right, ran into his old man, and right there he was going to make that hard cut to the right, and it would have been a foot race.
Tyler Fisher was out there trying to throw a block. Pushed back into his own man. So a 2nd and 1. One receiver to the right.
Reverse.
They go back to Aaron Marashik.
Little inside reverse that time. You remember in the first game of the year, Kiel used that play, 6 or 7 times? Remember the inside reverse? Yeah. That coach just loved that play. A lot of times that's really effective.
Yeah, first time we saw it was on the goal line.
That's right. Never expected to see an inside reverse on the goal line.
We saw that Kimberly ran it last week, too.
That's right. You're exactly. So that's all of a sudden, that's an old play from way back when you were a kid.
Coach Dressler setting the precedent.
Standard, yep.
From Kiel. So fresh set of downs. Ball on the 17-yard line. O'Leary on the far side.
Another nice game.
Yep. JoJo O'Leary, 6-foot junior.
Yep. Sevchik, one of the tacklers that time. Number 20 for Preble. Another nice determined run on the part of the Pulaski running backs.
Six-yard pickup. 2nd down. Ball on the 12. Direct snap to Redland. Redland looking for the first down. Diving. See where they spot this one. It's going to be pretty close.
He got an outstanding block that time by Mrazek. Number 27, Aaron Mrazek, led the way that time. Just did an outstanding job. Number 27 right there. Did a great job leading the way that time.
And
opening up that hole.
First down. See the ball.
12.
About the.
The 6.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
6.
Yep. Got the lines mixed up.
Yep. So 1st and goal from the 6. And the Direct snap met before the goal line.
Yeah,
This time
Vandercourt.
is Vandercourt.
I don't know if there's any gain, was there? I don't think so. So 2nd and goal from the 6.
Yep.
Nice job defensively that time for Preble. But again, just chewing up the clock.
Yeah, 4 minutes already gone
That's
by.
what they do.
So 2nd and goal.
Redland deep in the backfield. Last time they did that, they had the short snap to the fullback.
Leary was the man in motion, and a little movement. Let's see. This might be backing up Pulaski.
Part to snap, full start, offense. 5-yard penalty remains,
Who's
second
making
down.
that call again?
Terry Van Strati.
No.
Verstrati.
Strati. Was it Van Strati? No.
Verstrati.
Verstrati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terry Verstrati.
The Verstrati boys. Where's he from, do you know?
The old country.
I'm going to say Hurley.
Hurley. So still 2nd and goal. Ball
for the
back
pass.
to the 10-yard line. Oh, and Szymanski takes a big hit. He is shaken up.
Wow. That was a high hit. Hate to see that. He is hurting. Wow, that was a vicious hit that time. He was the intended receiver. Hope we can shake that off. Wow. Well, a rare pass for Pulaski. And he was taken down hard.
Good to see him running off under his own power, kind of holding that.
You can just tell those shoulder-wise sometimes.
Yeah, hopefully he's going to be all
So
right.
they favor that. So 3rd and 10.
Still 3rd and goal. And
Timeout.
timeout.
By
And
Pulaski.
Coach Marsh very upset, so there's a timeout on the field. We'll step away. You're watching Showdown. You bet Simon's Cheese. Got to thank them for, well, their years of sponsorship of Showdown. Simon's Cheese, our instant replay sponsor. Simon's, the home of multiple world champion cheeses. Simon's Cheese, located off Highway 41 at the Little Chute exit. Stop there today. So 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line. They go to O'Leary. O'Leary tripped up as he crosses the 5-yard line, and a 4th down coming up for the Red Raiders.
Had a big hole, kind of tripped in his own feet sort of there. I think maybe a hand got out underneath him, but boy, he had a hole there. It looked like he was going to take it into score. So 4th and goal from about the 5, maybe 4.5-yard line, I guess. See the nose just inside the 5.
Yeah, they're gonna
kick.
Kick again.
Or line up for a kick.
So the kicker, Isaac Hankey.
He's got a strong leg.
Yeah, you bet.
I was watching his extra points. They were going 40 yards beyond the end zone.
So 17-0 Pulaski leading Preble. We'll step away. You're watching Showdown. 17-0. Pulaski leads Preble. 6:40 remaining in this third quarter. Ted and Johnny with you for week 4 of the high school football season. Tell you what, it's been an outstanding showdown.
Oh, we've had
this
3
year.
good games heading up to this one. This one still might turn out to be a great game. 70-0 isn't exactly lights out or anything like that. Early on, Preble really had a good thing going. They had the big running back just carrying the workload. I mean, he was just kind of like the bread and butter Jamar Howell. Took it down, came close to a touchdown, then had a touchdown pass called back because of a penalty. And it seems like they haven't been in the same rhythm since that score. Or I call it a scoring drive. It wasn't a scoring drive. But since that part of the ball game, don't seem like they've been in that sort of rhythm. Do you, Ted?
Yeah, seemed like they had that touchdown.
Yeah.
And then when they had that one call back, it just kind of took them out. But the other thing I thought that kind of put them on their heels was the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, just now.
Pulaski, just the big gainers, and all of a sudden Preble's kind of back on their heels. So
they've got to regroup right now.
They've got to find a way to
that's exactly right.
bounce back here. So this is a long kick.
Wow.
Kickoff by
Out
Hankey.
of bounds. Yeah. It's funny, though, too, when we're watching Hankey just kick the extra points, and they were sailing to the other side of the track. I mean, just incredible, the strength of the kicker's legs these days. We see that so often, high school kickers. I remember back in the day, if you even had a kicker that would make 50% of his extra points, wow, you've got a kicker. Now these kids just line up and just, boom, just explodes off their foot. How did that happen? Soccer influence or?
Could be soccer influence. I think the kids are just putting in more work in the offseason.
But, so many kids play soccer even if they don't play it into high school. And like when they were 5 years old, 6 years old, whatever, so many kids play soccer. So at least develop, I think, that leg strength just by playing, even if it's not, your main sport or anything like that.
Right. And we've seen some schools where they use a soccer player.
Right.
Borrow
Absolutely.
a soccer player.
Right. No question.
For a Friday night.
Well, Preble has done that.
So Preble now 4 players in the backfield this time as they begin this drive on their own 35. And Howell gets the first call. Good for 4.
Yeah, got hit right away, basically in the backfield. Just sort of shrugged that one off. Kept moving. But I just thought he kind of gave them a little something in that first half that they haven't been able to regain ever since that touchdown was nullified. Plenty of time.
Well, and you've got a nice back for a different look in Burns as well.
Right, absolutely.
They got to find a way to put some points on the board, trailing by 3 scores now.
Cool little razzle-dazzle, a couple of flags flying.
Shevchik. Well, looks like he's got the first down, but we'll see what the flags are all about.
Flags were flying all over
a lot
the
of
place,
guys
to
moving.
be honest with you, Did a nice job that time eluding down that right sideline. But, the Yellow Hankies came out real early and really often.
They're playing the shell game in the backfield.
Yeah.
Legal shift.
Yeah.
Offense.
Yeah, I think so.
5-yard penalty to remain second down.
That's the first time I think I've ever seen 4 guys in the backfield. Wasn't that? I've never seen that.
And at least 3 of them were moving. So.
Yeah. I mean, you could have a quarterback in the old full house, but all 4 guys, are 6-7 yards back. Seen a lot of football, but not that formation. And I don't think we'll ever see it again.
So Andy Reid could be watching this
That's
game.
right.
You were talking about that?
That's right. Show. That he gets ideas from high school teams.
2nd and 11. From the 34. Going to go to the air. No, a little draw play. Yeah, good pickup here. Looking for the first down, but no. Coming up quickly was
nice job
Ignarski.
Right there. Brock Ignarski. Come out making the stop, but still a really nice gain that time. Outstanding gain. I think that was design play, to be honest with you.
Yep.
I don't think he was really looking for anybody downfield. I think he was just trying to get the defense to commit.
Yeah, nice job by Berge, who hasn't had a lot of success running the ball this season, but nice job there.
3rd and 1.
So Berge hands off to Howell. And Howell.
Oh, nice defensive play.
Well,
he doesn't have it. I don't think so.
The near sideline says no.
I think just short, yeah.
I would agree with
Kyle
that.
Riegel, number 26, coming up to make the stop. Yeah, it's 4th down. And wow, like 4 inches Don't you think? I think they're going for it. I mean, just to the other, well, more than 4 inches. I'd say a foot from where they spotted it. And where the yard marker is, it's just past the chalk line. So about
Jamar
a foot.
Howell time. They give it to Howell. And
What a play. What a defensive stop. Again, another big play by Kyle Reichel, who came up and just bulldogged him down. Wow.
Howell shaking up. Hopefully he's going to be all right.
Reichel just being aggressive, coming up and making the play to stuff out the first down. Well, you knew he was going to get the ball. I think everybody knew he was going to get the ball. But I thought he'd still, after contact, be able to make something happen. But you're right. He's shaking up on the sidelines.
We've got a timeout on the field, so let's,
Will they get him to the sidelines further off to the...
Yeah, they're just making sure that player is safe. And, we're going to go right back to action here, so we'll keep it here.
Right. They just want to make sure that he was able, in case a play came that way, he was able to get out of the way.
Yeah, I think hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him. So they're checking on him. So back to work go the Red Raiders.
Marashik with the carry. That's a typical Pulaski single wing play right there. It's a misdirection. Take it on the left side.
Well, with a 3-score lead now, I mean,
right?
But does it matter? 3 or 2 or 1-score lead? I mean, I think the Pulaski team does what this Pulaski team does.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever come out and just start winging it around, no matter what.
Redlin, first down.
Wow, strong runner, isn't he? You see why he averaged almost 7 yards a carry coming into this ball game. Nice size, 6 foot, 175. Nice to see number 40 back in the ball game for Pulaski. Szymanski, after taking that hard shot now near the goal line. Szymanski also with a great head of hair. You saw that? Fumble.
Loose ball. Preble thinks they have it. No signal yet from the officials. And it will remain Pulaski.
Wow.
Ball.
Looked like it popped right into the arms of the Preble players and probably popped right back out. Big play that time for Pulaski to recover that. I still say in last week's game, Kimberly and Fond du Lac, one of the biggest plays in the entire game was that fumble near the end of the game. Remember that?
Yep.
If Fond du Lac had recovered, it would have been in field goal position to win the game.
Vander Corput with the carry and, let's see.
Chopped up more yards, another first down. I think so. He actually knocked over the yard marker.
Yeah,
I think he got it before then. Another first down.
Yeah, good to see Szymanski back on the field.
Right, absolutely. That was a tough shot he took.
And then looking on the Preble sideline, Jamar Howell also sitting up on his own, and looks like he's going to be all right. So.
Yep. It's good to see.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than high school sports injuries. Check out that hair on Szymanski. See that? Looks like a young A.J. Hawk.
There you go. A little reverse here.
Oh, wow. Tough running. Wow. Just outstanding. Marashik. Just powering his way through. They've got Preble on their heels right now. No question about it. The emotion, the aggressiveness is all going towards Pulaski right now.
Pulaski coming into this game a perfect 3-0. Trying to keep pace with Bayport and Ashwaubenon at the top of the FRCC standings.
First and goal from the 5.
Who's got it? Looks like O'Leary.
And O'Leary goes in standing up
for the touchdown. Pulaski.
J.J. O'Leary's had himself a great ball game tonight. One of the leading rushers, also the leading receiver. They only threw it one time, but he had a big catch in that one. And again, they'll use a bevy of running backs, but that guy's about as good as any of them. Watching him carry the football. Again, that offensive line for Pulaski just giving them the gap they need, and the running backs just seem to do the rest. They seem to do a great job of reading their blocks. Was that the bus? Or what one was that, Teddy?
Roller coaster.
The roller coaster?
Yeah.
Okay. You're my guy on this stuff. You need to know these things. You know what? You're not like you used to be. You used to know all those things. I don't know what happened to you.
The extra point by Hankey is
So
good.
disappointing.
And it's 24-0 Pulaski. We'll take a timeout, review the bus. When we come back, you're watching Showdown. So 24-0. Pulaski leading Preble with 1:49 remaining here in the third quarter.
You know, if you scout a Pulaski team, I'm not sure. Okay, what is this now?
No,
Are we gonna see
this
it?
is the Pulaski fans.
Oh, that's just the fans.
It's neon night.
Yes,
Neon
I see
night.
that. I see that.
They travel well, don't they?
Yes, they do. They really, in every sport.
Yeah.
Did you ever do this?
The Red Sea.
The Red Sea, that's
Yeah.
right. Did you ever see basketball tournaments back in the day?
Preble fans?
Yep, they're having a good time. I remember back in the heyday of the Brown County Arena when Pulaski had great teams in the late 80s, and that would just always be rocking with Pulaski people.
I tell you what, I do a little coaching on the girls' basketball side.
I know.
Both Preble and Pulaski, two outstanding teams coming up this season.
Are they really?
Keep an eye on those two
Well,
schools.
didn't somebody from Preble just sign a D1 scholarship?
You bet. Saw Carly Duffney as we see
Uh-oh.
the return here. Nice return to the 50-yard line and then some for Preble.
He hit that hole with abandon, didn't he? Nice job that time. Putting the head down, heading straight north to south. Ben Navarre. Nice job. Nice hole, nice blocking up front to the part of the Preble wedge.
But you were asking about Carly Duffney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going to
South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Yeah, and she's only a junior in high school. She's going to team up with Kendall Renard, who is a senior. She's heading to UW Green Bay in a year.
Wow.
So, yeah, Jim Dell's got a loaded team on the Preble side. So 1st and 10 on the 48-yard line of Pulaski. The best field positions of the night for Preble.
Yeah, he pulled it down. Looked like he had a little something working, a little scuffle taking place down there right now. Tackled by Kyle Reichel. No gain, actually, a little bit of a loss.
Yeah.
Lost about a foot maybe.
And Rico's teammates get around him really quick.
Right,
Hey,
to make sure nothing happens. Because if you get kicked out in high school, you miss the next game too, don't you?
Get kicked out. You don't want to pick up a penalty in this situation.
Right.
Either. You got a nice lead. You got all the momentum.
Right.
Don't need any of that right now. So 2nd and 4. To the air.
Nice ball.
And that
Incomplete, a little high. Tell you what, he throws a nice ball though. That was a little high and wide. Nick Rainier, intended receiver. This quarterback, Nash Lemeron, boy, that came out of his hands nice, didn't it?
Nice throw. Berge.
A little high and wide. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Ryan Berge, a little high and wide. That thing really came out of his hands nice.
A couple of
Berge's one of those kids too. He's got the nice size. Does a nice job with the ball. It just seems like they need to find some way. 6'1", 170. Just need to find a way to match what they do to his skill set.
Another pass over
One's
the middle.
Short, trying to, yep.
Well, it's either
intended
too
receiver
short
that time
or
was
too
Ben
long.
Navarre.
There
Yeah,
were two
exactly.
guys.
Maybe I'm bragging too much because they're not being completed.
Coach Gresson.
But Berge just seems to have a certain good look to the way he throws the football. But so far, without the results.
Yeah, the Preble coaching staff arguing something. Maybe they thought maybe there was a defensive hold in there right along the line of scrimmage. But no call. So
another punt
seconds
for Preble.
Here in the third quarter.
Well, another flag or a timeout?
Yeah, I think Pulaski.
Timeout Pulaski. Fantastic kickoff return to no avail for Preble that time. So again, now it's up to their defense. Try to get that ball back, and Preble has to own the fourth quarter to get back in this football game. They seem a little down, though, don't they? Just the atmosphere, just the certain something. They need something real good to happen.
Yeah. points.
Because it has just
points
been
on the board.
Domination on the part of Pulaski since the second quarter on.
Yeah.
They owned the second quarter and then owned the third quarter by coming out with 2 huge plays in the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
And now I'm trying to remember if it was their second or third. Their first drive, I think it was a 3-and-out.
3-and-out, yeah.
That second or third drive, they just
put it
came
together
out with a whole different confidence.
Right. But it wasn't until that second quarter when they drove down to the exact same end zone that Preble was at. It wasn't until then that they really started putting it together. Again, the soccer or rugby style kick. Nice booming kick. Wow, that's going to be. Ooh, that might have gone out of bounds at like the 1.
You bet.
Wow.
Doesn't get much better than
that. Doesn't
get
any better than that. That was outstanding. What a great kick that time. Nice job. Caden Le Captain. Le Capiton.
Well,
French. That's a French way of pronouncing it.
Capiton?
Do you know it? Le Capiton.
I don't think that's how you pronounce it.
Yes, it is. Which one of us studied abroad in France? Okay. I know for a fact it's not you, and I might have.
You might have.
I might have. We're going with that.
Okay.
A lot of French Canadians where I'm from.
Nagati?
Yeah. Loaded with them.
45 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Pulaski begins deep in their own territory. They give to O'Leary, who gives them a little breathing room.
Coming up, number 24 for Preble that time. Hunter Yang making a stop. Hunter Yang, of course, plays the Falcon position.
Safety?
Yes.
What else you got on there?
Got the Ian Henjum is the Sting Man.
Strong safety?
Uh-huh. You got the Hornet. Jagervine.
Corner?
I'm not sure. Outside linebacker, basically. It's always good to have a title, though.
2nd and 5. JoJo O'Leary again. And still on his feet. Oh, stepped out of bounds. And
you know, that's the way Pulaski is, though. It seems like, okay, nice little gain, nice little play, nice little play. Then there's always that chance, it seems like, at the end that they could take it a long distance.
Yeah.
And with that,
clock on the TV says 0, but there is actually 0.1 seconds.
Would you guys get it right?
On the clock here. So
1/10 of a second left. You know, in basketball, you could still do a tip in, right? You could do something, can't you? I mean, isn't it 0.3 you can still shoot or something?
0.3 for a tap in.
Or for a tap, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if 0.1 gets you anything.
Fumble. And that's going to end the quarter.
That'll get us
all right
to the end of 3 quarters, where it has been all Pulaski tonight. 24-0 over Preble. Fourth quarter action begins after this timeout. And there are the Preble fans enjoying the night.
How big has that song Jump Around become at sporting events in the state of Wisconsin over the last, 15, 20 years? Hasn't it, though? I mean, they just own that song, Wisconsin does. Do they do that in other states? I don't know.
Probably copy. Probably copy. There's Pulaski.
There you go. Bringing it strong.
Yep. So we begin the fourth quarter. And
wow, big gain taken on the right side. That's Nash Lemeron.
Yep.
Wow.
Well,
big gain.
Your traditional quarterback.
Right.
Nash Lemeron.
Yeah. Oh, nice night, isn't it? Kind of an eerie night.
Is tonight the full moon? I think tomorrow's the full moon.
That's pretty close.
There's
Friday
a full
the 13th and a full moon.
Oh, my.
I know what I'm doing tonight. Going out in the woods and howling. Just go out there and stand in the woods and howl.
Triskaidekaphobia?
What's that? I think I had it once, but I got a shot. Whoa, thrown down hard. Number 4, Evan Holm. Throwing him down. I think he's getting a little aggressive out there. Loss of 5. 2nd and 15. Last time they're in this situation, they picked up the first down. It'll be interesting with this Pulaski team throughout the regular season, though, Teddy. This is a pretty good football team right here. I think everybody thought losing the big guy Hendricks last year, it'd be a huge drop-off. Yeah. That's not the case. They might not get it in the, one guy doing so much, but, man, they've got a bevy of guys making plays out there.
And a
fumble.
Loose ball. Preble thinks they have it, but he may have been down. Let's see. Officials are talking it over.
And it is Preble football.
It is Preble football. So we'll step away. You're watching Showdown on My New 32. First and 10 on the Pulaski 33, and a completed pass and a first down for the Hornets, who are in desperate need of some points here in the early goings of the fourth quarter.
Nice job that time. Bergie with a quick pass to Nathan Vanseth. That's what they needed right there to kind of get this offense jump-started a little bit. Quick hitter that time. Again, though, I just like the way he throws the football.
Doing a nice job so far tonight. First and 10 now from the 19. Another quick hitter. Good for another 5 yards.
Well, quick shots downfield like that. Nice to see. That one to Caden Le Captain. Second down at about 6.
5'10", 172. Senior tight end. Bergie to the air again, looking left side and a little too long.
Yep, overshot his man that time. Looking once again for number 82, Nathan Vanseth.
And that's the first time I think we've called Vanseth's name. 12 receptions, 212 yards.
Before his last catch, you mean? Yeah. Yep. So Preble trying to go with the air attack here. 3rd and 5-ish. Trying to get a score, trying to inch their way back into this ball game. Nice protection.
That is batted down. Number 62, Max Steinbrecher.
Didn't have a lot going on over that right side where they were looking. There were 3 defenders and 2 receivers. Max Steinbrecher wrecking that one.
Oh, 4th down, Jenny.
Steinbrecher, 6'6", 190. 4 down territory, Teddy. I'm just saying. That's why they give you 4 downs. Howell is back in the ball game, which is good to see.
Bergie. Nearly a one-handed grab. But
had his hand on it, couldn't corral it.
There's a Jake Binkowski. Turnover on downs. We'll step away. You're watching Showdown. Now back at Preble, as we come out of that break. I think that was Ben
Redlin one more time. Bursting upfield, gain of about 20. Yeah, this is, I'll tell you what, with this offense that Pulaski has right now, this is a nightmare if you're a defense coordinator for Preble. You want to try to get the ball back. You needed something in that last series, no question about it, but still, you need to find a way to try to get at least a 3 and out, and a play like that can just break your spirit. Another big hole, another big carry.
Redlin again, and this time helmet comes flying off.
Yeah. You still have to leave the field for a play, right? High school football when that happens? I see
yes.
he is, but you have to, right?
You have to.
Yeah.
And I think the Pulaski sideline saying, how did his helmet leave his head? But the clock continues to tick now. About 9 minutes remaining in this ball game. Loose ball. Lemerond will just fall on it.
Yep, just jump back there. Not give up a big play. Lemerond really hasn't carried the ball much at all tonight. As mentioned, he came in averaging about 6 yards a carry, but just hasn't really hasn't needed to be. I mean, they have so many other running backs that are doing so well.
Well, you see this Pulaski schedule. They're 3-0 on their way to 4-0 tonight. Take on Notre Dame next week. Redlin gets another carry.
Another big gain of about 7.
So after tonight, it's Notre Dame, De Pere, Southwest, Ashwaubenon, and Bayport. So Pulaski still has some big games coming up, especially the last 2 weeks of the season with Ashwaubenon and Bayport in weeks 8 and 9.
Right, and even like a Notre Dame team that's 1-2 going to tonight's ball game, Southwest 1-2. Those teams can. I mean, those are still pretty good football schools.
Yeah.
Those are schools that before this is all over can make something happen. If not just being a spoiler, but finding a way to get into the playoffs. By the way, nice to see a Southwest grad, national TV last week, starting for the Houston Texans. Nice run that time by Lemerond. Max Sharping. We did some of his games back in the day.
And then watching the Oakland game.
Alec Ingold.
Alec Ingold.
For the Oakland Raiders.
For the Raiders.
Basically the only fullback on the roster right now, I believe. I think that's fantastic. Free agent. Doing a great job. Well represented. When's the last time there were 2 Green Bay high school athletes in the NFL at the same time? Has it ever happened?
Packers?
Yeah. I mean,
19.
That's what I mean, going way back with the
30
club teams, the town teams.
Redlin?
Wow. They're just pounding it straight up now.
That
Huge
was
gain on fourth down.
4th and 1.
4th and 1, he picked up about 15.
Yeah.
Has it ever happened? Well, okay, I think I might have one.
What do you got?
No.
No?
You guess.
Oh. Well, I guess the 19. I'm going back to the 30s.
Okay, I'm going back to the 70s.
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 Okay.
70s. 70s.
Redlin. 2 players from the Green Bay area.
In the NFL at the same time.
In the NFL. Oh, the NFL.
In the NFL. What'd you think I meant?
I thought you meant just the Packers.
No. In the NFL.
In the NFL.
In the NFL at the same time. You have to be a real football aficionado. If anybody knows my cell number, go ahead and text me. See if you got it.
Or you can get on our Twitter account.
Whichever one. 1970.
We're on Facebook as well.
And maybe it happened before, other than that too, but there's 2 for sure I can think of.
This time Redlin hands the ball off and goes back to Moroshik.
And actually,
who did you have?
I'm going to say from the same high school.
So
I think they went to the same high school.
So East?
No.
What do you got?
Jerry Taggy. And Dave Mason.
Oh.
Okay? That's what I'm going with. In about 1974.
We need somebody to confirm that.
Or deny.
it.
There he goes, Redlin again.
Redlin is into the end zone. Touchdown, Pulaski.
And that will shut out the lights. Yep. Unstoppable. And they just got stronger, I swear, as this game went on, especially the second half. They started the second half with an absolute attitude drive. Their first 2 plays picked up over 20 yards in each of the first 2 plays on the ground, and they never looked back. Never looked back.
Yeah, they're strong. No doubt about it.
And so many different varieties of players. I mean, the running backs and the different ways they come out, their formations.
Extra point is good.
Puts that deep into the night, doesn't he?
31-0. Pulaski leads Preble. We'll be back after this timeout. .45 remaining in this ball game, and Pulaski has opened up a 31-0 lead on the hometown team from Green Bay Preble.
Yeah, I think Preble is a little shocked, to be totally honest with you. I think that, Pulaski coming in here, a nice offense, but, it's one of those things you think, well, okay, they played a couple of teams recently that are a little down on their luck. Sheboygan North, Manitowoc still trying to find their way with a new coach and everything like that. And I think they're just really surprising Preble with how good they are. We were talking about last year, Hendricks, the big quarterback that's not at North Dakota State, carried the football, it seemed like 90% of the time. That was just incredible. He had over 3,000 yards, total offense, all those kinds of things. But then with him gone, there's a whole bunch of other great young football players that are getting an opportunity, and they're just making the most of it.
Ooh, look at the leg on this.
Deep into the end zone. I'm telling you, he's got an amazing leg. Holy cow, watch him in pregame and everything. Isaac Henke. Wow. Boy, that's the kind of guy who developed that leg a little bit more. He's only a junior, 6'4". You'd think somebody like that might have a chance at another level.
Absolutely. Hey, got to thank our scoreboard sponsor tonight, Packerland Home Improvement. Quality window and door replacement since 1973. It matters. It's your home.
I thought you were going to me do that part. I thought that was my.
I thought you were going to do that part too.
They asked me to do it.
Okay, let me do it again. It matters.
No, I'm not going to do it.
5:45 remaining. I'm going to get you to do it.
I'm not doing it. Oh, look out.
Fergie in trouble, and down he goes.
Number 33 bursts in there. Nathan Apps for Pulaski. Boy, he didn't have a chance that time. He looked up, and there was a white jersey in his face. Yeah, this is just an impressive performance by Pulaski tonight. No question about it.
Well, and Preble going through their toughest stretch of the schedule.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, now,
here.
Well, depending what happens tonight, but of their last 3 games, Bayport undefeated, Ashwaubenon undefeated, and Pulaski is going to remain undefeated.
Preble looking at a game at Sheboygan North and then at Southwest the next couple of weeks. This one goes over the middle.
Yep, just a little high, just a little wild, but a great arm.
Last 3 games of the season for Preble will be a couple of games here against Notre Dame and then Manitowoc Lincoln, and then finish up on the road, Sheboygan South. So in the pregame we were talking about, this is not a must-win.
Right. But it's also one of those games now you know what you have, basically. You've played enough football now. No more guesses.
So plenty of time to get into the playoffs. You need pretty much 5 wins in the FRCC. On the screen.
Nice job again on the defense that time. Taking down Renier.
Dustin Gresson in his second year as a head coach for Preble.
By the way, I was told it's separating the wheat from the chaff, not the chaff. Chaff is something else.
Chaff is something else. So it's chaff.
Chaff.
So you were correct?
Close.
You doubted yourself.
I was going to say separating the wheat from the crackling.
Well, crackling
is pork, lard or something, right?
It has something to do with
pig.
Yes.
Yeah. Learn that in
the
Kiwani.
Processing, yeah.
Gain 1. The education continues.
Always. Brock Ignarski.
Nice return. About the 35, 36-yard line.
Well, Pulaski 10-2 overall last year. 8-1, a second-place finish in the FRCC a year ago. Their only loss was to Bayport, lost to Marshfield in level 3 of the Division II playoffs. So this Pulaski team made a nice run in the playoffs last year. It looks like they're a little more balanced, or they can spread it out a little bit more between players.
Totally agree. Completely agree.
But they're young.
Very young. It's incredible. They only have, 4 or 5 starters returning from last year's team? New bodies in there. Little movement before the snap. I got this one here from one of my coaching friends who coached at Green Bay West.
Yeah.
He says, I think you're right. Mason and Taggy.
There you go.
There you go.
False start.
You're really good with the trivia, aren't you?
Well,
Prior to snap,
I don't
false
like to
start
say
on
that.
the offense. Everybody but the center remains first down.
I like that when we did the radio show and your question would be, Teddy, I'm thinking of 2 players. 2 players in the entire history of the
history
NFL.
of sports. Who do you think they are? They're guys like before you were born.
One guy was left-handed. I'm going to help you.
And limped. New body in there for Pulaski, getting the carry. That was nice to see new bodies in there. Mason Petzel, just a sophomore, 6'1", 175. You know, you go through that roster, I'm telling you, you see some young players, a lot of sophomores on that football team. There's one freshman, number 65 on that. I can't even imagine being a freshman playing varsity. I would have been scared to death, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, man, those guys seem like full-grown men who shaved.
Here's Josh Ebelt.
Oh, I got this one, though. What about Aaron Stecker and Kevin Stemke? I don't think... How long did Stemke last in the league? He, by the way, was the answer to one of our trivia questions last year that I stumped you on. Remember that one? The top
Stemke?
punter in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
What's the name of the award?
Kevin Stemke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What's the defensive back award?
I should know that.
You should know this. You should know this.
It's too early to talk about
Okay,
postseason
I'm
awards.
just telling you. Jim Leonard.
Oh, sure.
Little movement. Linebacker award.
Start,
The
offense.
receiver award.
5-yard penalty.
Linebacker
remains
award.
third down.
Linebacker award.
Is Crazy Legs the receiver award?
No. Altoon.
Altoon?
Altoon. Yes. Yes.
Maybe. Okay.
Yes. Crazy Legs might be the running back. Who's the linebacker award?
I don't know.
John Anderson.
John Anderson.
Yes.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Boy, week 4, and you're already into the postseason
What's
awards.
who's the high school student? Nice run once again, getting some playing time right there.
Petzel?
Falling forward. Absolutely, Petzel. High school student media broadcaster award named after.
Student Media Broadcaster
Yes,
Award.
for student broadcasters.
I didn't even realize there was one.
The Mino Award.
The Mino. And who's that named after?
Well, they asked me to come up with awards. I couldn't think of anybody else. There's the Marconi and there's the Mino.
Marconi, sure.
Yep. So,
Edward R.
or
Murrow.
to have a banquet and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just you.
Yeah, I just
At Gallagher's Pizza.
Exactly. Hey, you want a piece? Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Inside 2 minutes to go. So next week, Teddy, we get to see one of the premier teams really in the state.
Yeah, a lot of people
in Division I.
talking about this Bayport team, now ranked number 3 in the state, just behind Kimberly
Yep.
in Division I.
Fond du Lac drops all the way down after that loss last week. I almost think, how do you drop down when you lose such a close game last week in overtime to Kimberly?
They dropped to number 4. They just
I know, but it's just like, really?
Fond du Lac. Yeah, but you take a look at the matchup. You got Bayport taking on De Pere next week. So we'll be up in Howard Swamico and checking out the Bayport Pirates against the De Pere Redbirds. Pregame at 6:30, kickoff at 7 right here on My New 32. Look out, Bergie in
Airing
trouble.
it out, going deep. Oh. Put it near the hands of his man, Nathan Van Seth. Yeah, Bergie didn't have a long time to look up and read the defense that time. Just let it fly because white shirts were coming in.
Easton Verts.
By the way, where did Stemke go to high school? Crickets.
Yeah.
Where did Kevin Stemke go to high school?
Was it Bayport?
Can I give you a hint?
Bayport.
Can I give you a hint?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Preble.
Yes.
He went to the concession stand?
Man, he was great at Wisconsin, though, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Just fantastic.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody with more coffin corner kicks than Kevin Stemke at Wisconsin.
That's a good one.
That was incredible. Just incredible.
Got a little look-see from the Packers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Signed with the Packers. And actually, I've got my some other experts coming in here. Raiders in 2002, Rams 2004. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, fellas. Like this, getting information from my guys.
I want to thank Dan Retzky and everyone here at Preble for helping us out tonight.
Nice little halftime treat was fantastic.
Yeah,
Appreciated that.
Burger was awesome.
Never expect that, but much appreciated when you do.
Yeah.
Bayport, we're not saying anything, just telling you how others do it. Maybe if Otis was still there, we'd get a little something. No, we would not from Otis. No. Like, I know you need to lose weight. You need to gain weight. You know, it's one of those things, too, when these guys, and I will say this, James Lofton during during preseason, he says in late exhibition games, it's like, every one of these guys was like an all-state player. So the fans may have lost interest, but these guys are playing for their lives, and they're still playing the game they love. And you know what? These kids are out on the football field right now, a lot of them. They still they went to two-a-days. They went to every weightlifting session in the off-season. They practice as hard as anybody. I always like to see backups get as much playing time as humanly possible. Hate that when coaches keep their starters in all the time.
Well, and that makes such a big difference with developing your players as well.
You bet. Chance to earn that varsity letter, all those sorts of things. I think that's great.
Because I thought they were close to scoring, so I was like, I want to get here, see if I can.
So the clock continues to run under a minute to go now.
This is going to be interesting, though, Teddy, how the second half of the season shakes out. It really and truly will be, especially in this conference. Next week, as we mentioned, we get a chance to see exactly how good that Bayport team is. Remember last year they were fantastic, and they got knocked off by Kimberly in the playoffs, but they had a bunch of young players on that team. But I know Gash has been hurt early in the season for them. Remember what an outstanding game he had against Pulaski last year?
Yep.
The night in Pulaski?
Senior Quarterback Award. This one bounces at the 40.
Senior Quarterback Award. Dave Craig.
Yes, very good.
Okay. From what college?
Mosinee.
No.
Well, he went to high school.
Uh-uh.
Or D.C. Everest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Lived in Mosinee.
Oh, did he? I did not know that. Okay, very good. Very good. And Milton College?
Milton College.
After that?
No longer.
No longer?
Existence, yeah.
Yep. Is the defensive line the Crumry Award? Tim Crumry?
Tim Crumry, yep.
Okay. It's a great one.
How about offensive lineman?
Fuzzy Thurston.
No.
It should be. It should be. Mark Tauser.
No.
Close,
though.
One of his teammates, I would think. A Badger. It's got to be a Badger.
Yeah.
Let me think of now. That's good. I actually thought it was Tauser for some reason.
Yeah.
Although he didn't have that great of a high school career, right?
No. And remember, I don't think he played until his 5th year.
In high school?
In college.
Oh. I know he stayed back here in high school. I just wasn't sure if that was. And that
Joe Thomas is the answer to that trivia question.
Oh, Joe Thomas.
Time runs out on Mino and this football game.
Thankfully to all.
Pulaski with a big win tonight, 31-0 over Preble. Pulaski moves to 4-0 on the season, while Preble will drop to 1-3. Mino will head down to the field with a chat with Jared Marsh, the winning coach from Pulaski, in just a few moments. Postgame show coming up next. You're watching Showdown. Well, we've gone final here at Green Bay Preble, where Pulaski is won 31-0 over the hometown Hornets. Nice little tradition here at Preble. Their version of the fifth quarter. The band out on the field right now for post-game festivities. Lino's making his way down to the field. We're hoping to chat with Jared Marsh, the head coach of Pulaski, in just a few moments. He's meeting with his team. Final words after that big victory. Pulaski improving to 4-0 on the season. Getting ready to take on Notre Dame. They'll host that game next week up in Pulaski. Meanwhile, Preble, who dropped to 1-3 tonight with the loss, they hit the road next Friday, and they'll be visiting Sheboygan North for Week 5 of the high school football season. Let's take a timeout. Coach Marsh making his way over to us. You're watching the postgame show on My New 32. The band finishing up here at Preble High School after Pulaski comes into town and picks up a big win, 31-0. Time to hear from the winning coach. Tonight's coach's interview brought to you by Gallagher's Pizza, now in 4 locations, including De Pere, East Green Bay, West Green Bay, and their newest location in Swamico. Gallagher's Pizza. All right, let's set it down to John Mino with Jared Marsh.
Thank you very much. Well, Coach, I'll tell you what, from that second quarter on, you guys were dominant with what you did. Did you find something different? Did you find something that worked and just kept running it, basically, because everything seemed to work with every drive?
The credit really goes to the kids. They were excited for the football game and to come into a visiting place and be able to have a game where they put it together. They play for each other. They were able to finish. Like it was neat to see the passion that came out on our sidelines and how it went into the game.
On both sides of the ball. Offensively, of course, you have so many different running backs, and it can be so confusing with what you're doing that, sometimes it gets the defense off the heels. But it seemed like every time Preble tried getting something going, one of your guys individually, if it had to be, would make some big play.
Yeah, on both sides of the ball, you're absolutely right. The defensive staff, the coordinators and coaches and kids, to put a 0 up against a Preble team that's pretty solid is really an accomplishment. I'm really impressed with what they've done and how hard they played. And we're able to see that week in and week out. We have different guys that step up and want to help the team and use their individual talents, and they do it.
You've got a string of goose eggs going up there now.
Yeah, again, the defense have just done outstanding. Coach Rodell, Coach Wagner, Coach Wirtz, there's more than I can name. Those guys do an awesome job of getting the guys ready. And the defense plays with a passion, and they play for each other, and that's special.
You know, last year, of course, Hendricks carried the ball probably 90% of the time. I bet there were a bunch of young kids saying, hey, give us a chance. As great as he was one of the top players in the entire state of Wisconsin. But I had to think there were a bunch of kids waiting in the wings saying, when we get our chance.
Yeah, we have a bunch of hungry backs in the backfield, and they're all led by some of our senior guys. Lance Vandekorp's done an awesome job for us the last 2 years, at times blocking for Dylan last year and then also getting the ball this year. And J.J. Szymanski, our blocking back, is really an unsung hero. That he's a battler in there, and where our offense goes is where he takes us.
22's not bad.
Oh, no. Benny Redland's been doing a nice job. He's one of those guys that last year showed an awfully nice flash.
Yep.
And he's taken every opportunity we've given him, just done an outstanding job.
You got this kid, J.J. O'Leary. He's thrown the ball twice for 2 touchdowns. You can hand it off to him, he'll get yardage. You can throw it to him, he'll get yardage. He can do a little bit of everything, can't he?
Yeah, JoJo's a special young man. He's a super hard worker. He wants to be able to help the team in any way that he can. And if it's throwing the ball, if it's running the ball, if it's faking, if it's blocking, everything he does is to help the team. And it's been real fun to work with him.
Well, I'm not sure what you expect to come into this ball game, Coach, but I'll tell you what, you have to be completely satisfied coming out of it.
Yeah, the result is what we wanted, to be able to get a W out of it. Hats off to Preble. They do an outstanding job of preparing their guys, and they always play extremely hard and physical, and they're fast. But our guys came out and they reached one of the goals that they had for the season.
Coach, congratulations on a very impressive win. Best of luck next week.
Thank you very much.
You got it, buddy. Teddy?
Hey. All right, John, and I believe we've got a player standing by. Ben Redland is down there too, and grab a quick word with Ben. And all Ben did tonight was pick up 3 touchdowns in that 31-0 win over Preble, and send it back down to John with Ben Redland.
Well, thank you very much, Teddy. Well, first of all, buddy, you follow blockers better than anybody I've seen in a long time. Is that something natural or something you work on?
Well, we got a lot of good backs out there that do good blocks, line do good blocks. I mean, just got to read their butt and follow their block right. We practice it every day at practice.
One thing I noticed, though, if you're not carrying the football, you're either carrying out a fake till the very end of that play or you're blocking somebody.
Yeah, it's doing your job. There's 11 guys out there, and you all got to do your job. It's part of the football game.
At what point did you guys feel that, okay, we're taking control of this game?
I mean, that first half, we had 14-0 on them. We were still hungry for more, and we kept scoring.
I thought those first 2 plays of the second half were huge. You guys didn't have a very long kickoff return, but then you just snapped off a couple of really long runs. I thought that put Preble's defense kind of back at its heels.
Yeah, we were hungry at half. We wanted one more, and then we want another one, and we just keep running hard.
One thing, too, you guys have such a bevy of running backs that you better produce because somebody else might step out and get those minutes.
Yeah, we work as a team, and if one's not doing good, I might have a bad game, and then JoJo or Nash or Lance are coming in, and I know they're going to do their job just as good as the next.
Buddy, congratulations, 3 touchdowns, huge game for you, big win for Pulaski.
Yeah, it's a good team win. Congrats on the defense holding a shutout.
Another shutout.
Yeah.
3 in a row.
It's a good win.
Congratulations, enjoy it, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you. Teddy?
Thank you very much, John. Big win for Pulaski tonight, 31-0 over Preble. By the way, you can see the highlights of this game over on NBC 26 News at 10. Brandon Kennard will have this game and a ton of other high school football games for you over on NBC 26 News at 10. That's coming up in just a few minutes over on NBC 26. We'll come back, wrap things up, get you ready for next week, week 5 of the high school football season after this timeout. Well, already looking forward to week 5 of the high school football season. Next Friday, we've got a good one for you. We'll check out the undefeated Bayport Pirates, ranked number 3 in the state, as they play host to the Napier Redbirds. Our pregame show begins at 6:30, kickoff at 7, right here next Friday on My New 32. Once again, our final score from week 4 of the high school football season. Pulaski with a big win over Preble tonight, 31-0. The Red Raiders improving to 4-0 on the season, while Preble drops to 1-3. That'll do it from Green Bay tonight. For John Mino, I'm Ted Stefaniak. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week from Swamico.